Hey, I know it's been a long road for us as Cowboys fans. We've seen the highs, the lows, and all the weird in-betweens that only this team can deliver. And I get it. Every time something looks promising, there's that little voice in the back of your head whispering, "Don't get too excited. You've been here before." But maybe, just maybe, this time is a little different. So let me ask you right out of the gate, is it finally okay to feel good about the Dallas Cowboys again? That's the question we're going to work through together today. Now, look, I'm not telling you to start booking Super Bowl trips. Let's not go full delusional. But if you're like me and you've been riding with this team for years, decades even, then you've seen enough to know when something feels different. You've seen what the team looks like when it's just treading water, and right now, something's changing. There's a shift happening, and whether it sticks or not, it's got some real weight behind it. Think about it. If you go back through the years, Chan, Gailey, Campo, those brutal 5-11 seasons, you'll remember that sense of hopelessness. The front office was making desperation moves, signing players past their prime, grasping at anything to make it work. But now, things are moving in a new direction. The front office is starting to get younger, smarter, more aggressive. For once, the Cowboys aren't just standing still watching other teams build, they're moving. And that's what we're diving into in this video, the real reasons it might be okay to finally feel something other than frustration. But hey, I want to know where you stand right now. Do you feel like this Cowboys team is actually turning a corner, or are you still guarding your heart? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and while you're here, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Let's hit that 14,000 subscriber mark together. That's how we keep this conversation going and this Cowboys community strong. All right, deep breath. Let's keep going, because what comes next might just surprise you. Let's start with what might be the biggest reason to feel just a little bit of optimism: the change in leadership tone. No, Jerry Jones didn't sell the team, and no, he's not fading into the background. But something else has shifted. There's a new voice starting to take shape inside the building, and it's not just lip service anymore. Brian Schottenheimer may not be a household name to casual fans, but if you've been paying close attention, you've probably noticed he's starting to put his stamp on this team. And I don't just mean play calling or scheme tweaks. I mean culture, attitude, accountability. For the first time in a while, the Cowboys' offense isn't just built around flashy headlines or individual stats. It's starting to feel like a unit with a purpose, a system, a plan. And that plan includes real competition, which is something this roster has been missing for far too long. You've, probably heard the reports. Guys are being cut or signed not because of name recognition, but because of effort and fit. And that's something Schottenheimer's been preaching since day one. It's no longer just about being good enough to wear the star. It's about proving you belong every single day. If you're not locked in, if you're not giving everything you've got, you're out. Doesn't matter if you were drafted or brought in on a vet deal. That kind of mindset, that changes locker rooms. And, maybe most importantly, players are buying in. You can see it in interviews, in body language, even in the way guys are competing at camp. There's a different kind of energy around the offense right now, and that's not something you can fake. When players believe in the system, when they believe their coaches have a plan, you start to see results before the season even kicks off. So let me throw this one to you. Do you think Brian Schottenheimer is the right kind of voice to lead this offense into the future? Vote in the poll right now, and let's see where the fan base really stands. Next up, let's talk about the quiet roster moves that might actually be louder than people realize. Now let's talk about a storyline that's gaining serious momentum. The growing speculation around backup quarterback Joe Milton III, and how the signing of Treshaun Holden might just be the latest sign that his spot on the roster isn't as secure as we thought. So here's the situation. Joe Milton came into the Cowboys rookie camp with plenty of buzz, big arm, loads of raw talent, and the kind of physical traits coaches dream about. but raw talent alone doesn't guarantee success or job security in the NFL. And now, with the Cowboys choosing to lock in a wide receiver like Holden, some fans and insiders are wondering if Milton is falling behind in the eyes of the coaching staff. Why? Because moves like these can tell us a lot about where the front office sees real potential. The Cowboys didn't just bring Holden in for a tryout. They signed him. That means they saw enough to believe he could contribute now. Meanwhile, Milton wasn't signed to a long-term or guaranteed deal, and there's been little indication that he's impressed enough to be safe when it's time to cut down the roster. And think about this, my friend, Watra. When a team is evaluating depth at quarterback, every decision around the offense matters. If they're loading up on receivers they believe can contribute early, especially those familiar with different systems or who bring versatility, it might mean they're preparing to work with QBs who are more game-ready right now. It's also worth mentioning that the Cowboys haven't gone out of their way to publicly endorse Milton since signing him. Sure, they gave him a chance, but in the NFL, opportunities are short and brutal. If you don't show something right away, decision-making, timing, leadership, you can quickly get pushed aside. So let's open it up. Do you think Milton will survive training camp? Drop your thoughts in the comments and vote in our poll. Who has the better shot to make the 53-man roster, Treshan Holden or Joe Milton? Stick around because next, we're diving into how this move changes the depth chart and what it could mean for the wide receiver battle this summer. All right, now let's break down exactly how Treshan Holden's signing could shake up the Cowboys' wide receiver depth chart. Because trust me, this isn't just some random camp body signing. This move could signal serious changes in the WR pecking order. Right now, the Cowboys' wide receiver room has some clear top names. CeeDee Lamb, of course, is WR1. Then you've got Brandon Cooks bringing veteran speed and Jalen Tolbert stepping into a bigger role. But after that, it's wide open. That's where Holden comes in. The Cowboys already had names like Cavante Turpin, Jalen Brooks, and rookie Ryan Flournoy competing for those final spots, and each one brings something different. Turpin's return skills, Brooks's physicality, and Flournoy's potential. But Holden? He brings immediate red zone value. He's a big target with strong hands, and if he can flash chemistry with any of the quarterbacks during camp, especially in the red zone or third down situations, he might leapfrog a couple of those guys quickly. And here's something to think about. Holden played in pro-style systems at both Alabama and Oregon. That background means he might pick up the Cowboys' playbook faster than some other undrafted rookies. That's huge. If he's consistent in camp and shows up in preseason games, the coaches could easily justify giving him a roster spot, especially if they're planning to carry 6 receivers instead of 5. Now, all of this puts extra pressure on guys like Brooks and even Turpin. Because if Holden can contribute on special teams or prove himself more versatile as a pass catcher, the coaching staff might lean younger and cheaper. That's how roster decisions get made in this league. So here's the question for you. Which receiver do you think Holden has the best shot at beating out for a roster spot? Drop your answer in the comments and tell me who's on your bubble watch heading into camp. Up next, we're diving into what Brian Schottenheimer had to say about the offensive identity and why it could play a big role in Holden's chances of making the team. Now let's talk about what offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer recently shared, because his comments might tell us exactly why the Cowboys signed Treshan Holden in the first place. Schottenheimer's been clear. He wants a tougher, more physical offense in 2025. Less finesse, more grit. He emphasized winning at the line of scrimmage, being able to run the ball when everyone knows you're going to, and using size and strength to bully defenders, especially in the red zone. Sound familiar? That's Holden's game. He's not a burner like Cooks or a route technician like Lamb, but he brings the kind of physical presence Schottenheimer clearly values. On slants, contested catches, and red zone fades, Holden uses his frame and hands to beat corners who try to press him. That fits the offensive identity Dallas is trying to build, especially if they want Dak Prescott or whoever's at QB long-term, to have more high-percentage chain-moving options. Schottenheimer also mentioned wanting more situational awareness from his receivers, understanding spacing, reading coverage, post-snap, and adjusting routes on the fly. Holden was asked to do that at both Oregon and Alabama. If he can show that kind of awareness in camp, it'll give him another edge over the more one-dimensional guys at the bottom of the depth chart. And here's the big picture. If the Cowboys' offense is shifting towards size, physicality, and situational versatility, Holden might be more than just a long shot. He might be exactly what they're looking for in WR5 or WR6. So let me ask you this. Do you believe Holden fits Schottenheimer's vision better than someone like Turpin or Brooks? Let me know in the comments. And tell me if you think the Cowboys are serious about changing how this offense operates. And don't forget, we've got training camp battles coming up, and I'll be right here covering every breakout, every surprise cut, and every bold decision from the front office. If you're not subscribed yet, now's the time. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.